All right, good morning and welcome back. I hope you guys had a great break. Today we are starting chapter 7. And one thing I wanted to point out, if you don't have this, if you're in a school today, you can get a copy of it either in class next time you're back, or you can go into It's Learning, go to chapter 7, and there should be a document there you can print off or have a digital copy of, okay? So today we're going to start chapter 7, and specifically we're talking about inverses. Now, first question here, what does 0 degrees to 360 mean? And in this case, it just says, it means we have to look around that entire unit circle to find our answers. So what I mean by that is, here, let me write this first. Let me make that bigger also. Okay, look around the whole unit circle. For our answers. Now we know the unit circle, one rotation is 360 degrees. Now if you look here, at 0 degrees it's included. That is saying it's equal to 0, that counts. But at 360 it's not included because that is now the start of the second time around. So if you think back to our unit circle, if we started here, this was 0. As we go around one rotation, get back here, 360, that would be the exact same spot as 0. So we want to know in one rotation what our answers in degrees. Now, in order to do this, a couple things we need to remember. You guys hopefully have your orange copy of this. So our x value, that's our cosine, our y values are our sine. And when we divide, so y over x, we get this, our tangent. If you don't have those tangents written down, pause this video and write down square root of 3 over 3, 1, square root of 3, undefined, etc., all the way around the edge. Now, as we're solving, as we said, the sine value is the y value. So this is essentially saying, on one rotation around the unit circle, where is the sine square root of 3 over 2? Now, if you want to, some of you might be thinking, well, if it's an inverse, can't I just use my calculator? So let me turn that on. I'm going to turn it into degree mode. So I come down here, go over to degrees, hit clear, and you are correct. I can to some point. Okay, so what I mean by that, second sine. Okay, now it's the square root, so I hit second square root of 3, arrow to get out of that, divided by 2, close it, I hit enter, and I get 60. So let's go check at 60 degrees and see if the sine is square root of 3 over 2. So at 60 degrees, the sine is square root of 3 over 2, so it did it correctly. Okay, however, so theta would equal 60 degrees. However, that is not the only answer. Okay, 60 degrees. If we look, square root of 3 over 2 is here. Hopefully you know that's our y value. So if we look, if we flip over that y-axis, it's also going to be right here at 120 degrees. Our calculator doesn't tell us that. Our calculator will only tell us one answer. Okay, so we've got to look on the unit circle to find the other one, 120. So I think it's easier to just trace around the unit circle. You'll start to get better. So theta equals 60 degrees and 120 degrees. When you're on Delta Math doing an assignment like this, I believe it asks you to do 60, 120. I can't remember. I think it has the degree mark already, so you wouldn't need to put that. So our next one, when is the sine of theta equal to 0? So we look on here, and we are trying to find when is y 0. So we look here, that's going to occur at 0 degrees. It's also going to occur at 180 degrees. And once you find one first sine, just reflect over the y-axis and you'll find your other one. If we're doing cosine and you're dealing with your x value instead, then you're going to reflect over the x-axis. But it's the same concept. Okay, so if we think about it, theta is 0 degrees. Oops, that kind of looks like a theta. Let me fix that. So 0 degrees and 180 degrees. Or the other way you could write it, it would be 0 degrees, comma, 180 degrees. Either one of those works, okay? Now your next one, so once again, sine value is your y. Cosine is the x value. So where is the x value equal to 1/2? We look on here, the x value is 1/2 right here at 60 degrees. However, we don't reflect over, because if we reflect over the y-axis, that's negative half. That's not the same as half. We got to reflect over the x-axis down here, and that's going to be at 300. So at 60 and at 300. So I don't care which way you do it. If you want, you can write it with the comma. I'm just going to put it like this, 60 degrees and 300 degrees. Okay. Now our next one, negative square root of 3 over 2. So where's the x value negative square root of 3 over 2? So we look on here. Well, x is negative when it's in quadrant 2 or 3, as it's to the left. Okay. So negative square root of 3 over 2 right here occurs at 150. We reflect over also at 210. Okay, so I can do theta equals 150 degrees and 210 degrees. Okay, so now the final one, tangent. This is our value. When I say on the outside, I mean on the circle. We wrote them around the edge. If you're forgetting, remember tangent is y divided by x, or it's the sine divided by cosine. Okay, so we go back here, and I think the first one, let's see, what does it say? Negative square root of 3 over 3. So we look here with square root of 3 over 3. That's going to come over here. Now the difference is with tangent, whatever you find, it's always going to be 180 degrees away from that. So just follow that line. And right here, you see it's the same thing. So 330, 150. So theta equals 150 degrees and 330 degrees. Okay, our final one, where is the tangent of theta equal to 1? So we look here, and right here is a 1. That's at 45 degrees. We always trace it across, go 180 degrees around. So that'll be 225. So you can either trace it across or just do 45 plus 180. Gives us 225. Either way, you'll get your answer. So theta equals 45 degrees and 225 degrees. All right. So only a little bit more. One thing I forgot to say up here, if it's 0 to 360, that's telling us to use degrees. Now on the back here, we're going to look. And if it's 0 to 2 pi, hopefully you guys know that means we use radians. Once again, we could change our mode on the calculator and use radians to solve. That's not going to help us get all of our answers, though. Just like with degrees, it won't get all the answers. So instead, we go from 0 to 2 pi. Once again, you include 0. You don't include the 2 pi. Because it starts here, one complete rotation gets us to 2 pi. That's the same as 0, though. So now, this first one, the sine, remember that is our y. So if it helps you, maybe. That's our y. Negative square root of 2 over 2. So we look, where's our y value negative square root of 2 over 2? Well, obviously, if it's y is negative, it's below. So it's going to be down here. And we see that at 5 pi over 4. And then it's also here at 7 pi over 4. Okay, so theta equals 5 pi over 4 and 7 pi over 4. All right, the next one, cosine of theta equals 1/2. So remember, cosines are x. So we go here, where is our x 1/2? That'd be up here at pi over 3. Also down here at 5 pi over 3. So all right, and our final one, the tangent of theta equals 0. So we look, the tangent of theta occurs, or is going to be 0. Here's a 0, here's a 0. Still 180 degrees apart. If you want to think of it in radians, that'd be pi radians apart, because that's half of a circle. So at 0 and at pi. Those are our two answers. So theta equals 0 radians and pi radians. So that's all I have for today. Please get into Delta Math. The Delta Math assignment is pretty easy, just doing the same thing. Find your unit circle, use that to help you. It should be very simple. Let's get off to a good start. Some of us have struggled to do the work on time, then we're a little confused or behind. So just get it done as we go. If you have any questions, reach out. Hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you later.